Hi, I have another video for you about FINMORE TRANZACTCARD. TRANZACTCARD was a multi-level marketing company that just suddenly changed into another one called FINMORE overnight, taking a lot of participants by surprise. They were it's like bait and switch. I've done a lot of videos on this, and there's a lot of great anti-MLM content creators that have also. And I find myself in this really weird position where I'm able to make a lot of content. I have the time and money freedom now since I left multi-level marketing. I was in for 5 years. I was also in a multi-level marketing coaching group. There's a whole coaching industry that has sprung up alongside multi-level marketing because, as you know, most participants are doomed to failure. So we're perfect prey to be lured into saying, well, there's a reason why your network marketing business isn't growing. You need additional coaching because we all know it's about overcoming beliefs and stop preventing you from self-sabotaging yourself. So that's a bit of my background. Anyway, I have a lot of people that send me information about this thing. And I have the time to create content on it. And I'm capable of like an enormous amount of physical output. It's just how I'm wired. It's not necessarily healthy, but I am what I am. So as I'm making content, I don't know if I'm going to continue doing this like for years and years to come. But while I'm at it, while I have the interest and the energy to do so and the time, I'm going to just crank out the content. I'm still doing a lot less than I did when I was in multi-level marketing. So that gives you a bit about me. If you're new to my coming across my content, you're very welcome here. And especially if you've been in FINMORE or TRANZACTCARD or another multi-level marketing company, and you're beginning to wake up, you're beginning to ask critical questions, you're welcome here. This is a safe space for you publicly online to leave a comment. I delete any cult apologist that leaves comments. Might be saying that you're just a hater, or you can't say this about all multi-level marketing companies. I just remove those comments because I know what it was like for me to get the courage to start speaking out. I'd head right to the comment section looking to see, I'm like, am I going crazy? What do other people think about this? So that was one of the things when I began speaking out, is to continue to help cultivate safe spaces online for ex-participants to speak out if they want, and just for them to hang out. So even if you don't comment, you're safe here. So anyway, all right. This is a video that was sent to me. Thank you very much. And this is messed up. So there's a number of people in multi-level marketing companies that are in multiple cults at the same time. And I was one of them. I was in Mon8 and also Rank Makers. And Rank Makers was the one that really fucked me up and fucked up a lot of us. There's this other thing going on now. There's with TRANZACTCARD, which has changed over to FINMORE, and this other weird religious cult that is called Prosperity of Life or Circle of Chi or something like that. I don't know a lot about this group, and I really don't want to. One of my intentions of making anti-MLM content or like anti-scam is to help you identify one red flag. You just need to look at one red flag and you turn and you run the other direction. So if you can imagine, you're walking on a beach and it's a beautiful day, especially if you're used to cold Canadian winters, and you go down to Mexico or maybe Cuba, and it's so nice to feel the sand beneath your toes as you're walking along the beach and the sun on your skin. You're drinking up the vitamin D. And you look out across the ocean, the water, it's so inviting. But on the beach, you see one red flag and it's flapping in the wind. And just from seeing that one red flag, that there is danger in the water, that you cannot go in the water. You don't need to see many red flags. You don't need to go into the water and know that there's a shark. You know that just from seeing the one red flag that there's probably a lot of sharks in the water and you're not supposed to go in the water. But when we're in multi-level marketing, or because there's not a lot of education around multi-level marketing, it's like, no, it's a legitimate business model. Look at how much I made, therefore this isn't a scam. The FTC and Canada's Competition Bureau can't get their shit together to go after these companies. They keep saying, no, it's okay. Just keep giving me money. Lobby. We call it lobbying. It's not bribery. It's called lobbying. Anyway, when you see one red flag, I want to encourage you for that. That's enough for you to see. In multi-level marketing, people will see red flag after red flag after red flag after red flag, and they will still think, well, the water's fine. There's no sharks in there. It's just my mindset. So that's where I'm coming at this approach with this video. And it's going to be only a portion of the video because I already get grossed out and I can barely stomach looking at this guy talking. It's so creepy. But apparently this group believes that they have the Holy Grail, and he's personally seen it. So there's this really dark, disturbing religious tie-in with this religious cult and TRANZACTCARD, which is now FINMORE. So they open up this presentation, this video, which is like over an hour, which we're only going to watch about 18 minutes of. That's how much I could watch because I couldn't stomach the rest. I'm like, I've heard enough. This guy starts going off about the Holy Grail. I'm like, oh my God, are you fucking kidding me? Anyway, I know there might be people that come across this video in the years to come and you've been part of this group. And it might be, you know, me hearing me use the word cult. So it's like, I'm using it so frivolously. You don't understand. This ties in with my beliefs. I get it. I understand. I was part of 2 cults too. So hopefully this might help you, you know, as you start to deprogram when you wake up from one of these things, or this one, or maybe one like it. So let's take a look at this video. All right, so this is called Prosperity for Life, I think. And I have, like I said, I've barely glanced into this thing. I did a very cursory look. I kind of like Googled it, looked up the website. Funny enough, when I looked at Prosperity for Life, I found another MLM, because I don't think this is an MLM, but I found an MLM that's called Prosperity of Life. And it's like Nexium. It's like another Nexium. I'm like, I can't even. I was going through it this morning. I'm like, no, I can't. There's only so much of this shit I can handle, you know? And today it's FINMORE and TRANZACTCARD in this thing. That thing, I don't know. Maybe someone else can tackle that, because I'm like, they're selling personal development courses and it's this amazing business model. You know, in a lot of multi-level marketing companies, you can only make $50 or $100. But with this one, you can sell these personal development courses. And before you even start taking them, you can start selling them. And it's like the whitest sea of people you'll ever see. They look like they're loaded and they're all white. I'm like, I can't. And they don't know the definition of a pyramid scheme either. They quote on one of their pages, it's like tough questions answered. I'm talking about this thing and I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. But it said the definition of a pyramid scheme, according to Investopedia, that's what they use to describe what a pyramid scheme is, which, big surprise, they don't get that accurate either. But we're not going to talk about that. I'm not going to think about that anymore. I'm going to compartmentalize it. I'm going to compress it, like very dense. And I'm going to shoot it off into space. It's going to burn in the sun and it's not going to cause a solar flare. It's all going to be good. We're going to now look at this thing, because this has, its tentacles has reached into this weird religious high demand group and is recruiting people from that into TRANZACTCARD FINMORE. So much so that they open this presentation up with, they're talking about FINMORE. And it's weird. So get some popcorn, microwave your coffee. I know I did. And let's watch. And I've put it to 1.25 speed. If they speak a bit quickly, I'll slow it down, but I think 1.25 speed will be manageable.
All right, guys, we have recording set, and we're so happy that
he is the guru. This is the leader of the group, by the way. I think so.
You can be here today, and we got a jam-packed show for you today. I'm going to start off introducing my co-host, Sister Lynette, that needs no introduction. And she's going to update you on Transact, and she's got some exciting things to show you, a couple of shared screen things to show you. And then she's going to throw it back to Lama G. We're going to talk about King Solomon, the Holy Grail, and the Ark of the Covenant today.
There we go. We're going to talk about TRANZACTCARD and FINMORE, and then we're just going to throw it back to me, and I'm going to talk about the Ark of the Covenant and the Holy Grail. Just a regular Thursday morning.
And how all that factors into prosperity. So take it over, sister.
All right. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad all of you are here, especially the ones that sent me those last minute texts. It gets a little frantic those 10 minutes before, but I try to make sure everybody.
I'm going to slow her down to 1 speed so we can, I'd like you to hear her, what she has to say, because she's been given the task of summarizing what's going on with TRANZACTCARD and FINMORE. And she speaks a lot more quickly than he does.
That wants to be here can be here. And like Lama G said, going forward, I'm going to try to remind myself to, if we're having problems, posting on Facebook, and I will pin that at the top of the page. So they're called featured pins. And so I moved the Prosperity for Life, the little gold treasure that
I don't know who you are and I don't know what your story is, but I do hope that you wake up and you get out one day, because you are involved in a pyramid scheme for sure with TRANZACTCARD and FINMORE. And I don't like that you're making this video, whether you're coerced to do this video, whether you believe that you're doing it on your own free will. It's really disturbing to see. And this is coming from someone who is a cult survivor.
we promoted this week up to the top, and I added the link. So that's what we'll do going forward. So keep an eye out there if you have any logon problems. Want to give a quick update on the Transact card before Master Lama Rasaji talks about Solomon's treasures and the children of light. So for those of you that
Can you imagine, before we launch into talking about we're going to talk about TRANZACTCARD and FINMORE, and then we're going to talk about King Solomon and the children of light, and then the Ark of the Covenant and the Holy Grail. And what in the Indiana Jones is going on right now? All I remember about Indiana Jones, it's like my memories of Star Wars. Someone will say, if I was sitting there and someone is going to prompt me, they're like, okay, say the first thing that comes into your head, Julie. It's like Star Wars. And I'm like, Luke getting his arm or whatever cut off, and he's falling down that big cylindrical thing. And then also it's like, Luke, I am your father. And then, and Indiana Jones are like, what would you think of Indiana Jones? And it's that guy, it's like the treasure chest opens and then he just melts like wax. That's what I keep thinking of.
that were part of the Transact community, whether you were a DBO or a card holder, which they refer to as a TCM, there's lots of things going on. And so first of all, I'm excited to announce the rebranding from TRANZACTCARD.
So it's incorrect. It's not a rebranding. You've been given incorrect information. It's a new, apparently a new company that started January the 24th, 2024. Flourish Direct LLC, and I've got some videos on that for you. So I encourage you to actually look at the facts, because there are other participants that are getting in trouble for saying rebranding. It's built on deception, and it's recruited people based on that deception. And now it relies on people like you and other participants. It counts on your character, your goodwill, your it's not, what is it, your character, I can't think of the word. It's how people view you in your community, and they think, oh, I trust her, or I trust him, I trust them. They wouldn't be a part of a scam. But these are what these companies do, and these are what high control groups do, is they use people's character as ambassadors for their company, giving much the same way that these multi-level marketing companies will use charities to cover up that they're a scam. They'll say, but we're a good person because we donate to this charity. I know, where I live in Southern Alberta, unfortunately, I've seen 2 people recruited recently into Primerica and also ACN. I didn't know it was ACN. I had to look it up because they were selling some kind of energy thing called XOOM, Zoom. Of course, and I think it's affiliated with ACN. And people were endorsing this person selling it, saying, I've known them my whole life, they're honest. And it's yeah, you can know somebody their whole life, but they could still be involved in the scam. And the scam is using your character, the respect that you've cultivated, all the people that trust you, they're using that. This is what cults do, commercial cults do, and other cults too.
Card to FINMORE. So going forward, from this point forward, we will only talk about FINMORE. And so why FINMORE? FINMORE stands for finance.
This QR code makes me look really busty. I'm quite impressed with it. Is it weird?
Financial more, FINMORE, right? And so we're just not a card. That was the thing with marketing for the Transact card that, my background's marketing, so I get it. It was singular. It represented one item, right? Because it didn't have.
It didn't, though. You're incorrect about that. So whether your background, by mentioning that your background is marketing, you are now very carefully and quelling any potential questions. People could say that this doesn't make sense. You're like, well, I have a background in marketing. And this is enough in a high control group or high demand group, whatever you want to call it, or a cult. Because you have enough stature that the leader of the group has passed off the beginning of this presentation to you. So you have a lot of status in this group. In the hierarchy, you've got a lot of status. People are hang on to your every word. And so just by saying a comment like that, that seems to be just a toss off. I have marketing experience outside of these groups. People, you could look at that and say, well, it doesn't mean anything, but inside a group like this carries so much weight. So if you're new to watching anti-MLM content, or you're starting to like realize, oh, this is how cults work. This is the same as in a religious cult, a political cult, a commercial cult. This is that sneaky, indirect way of this control, this coercion that continues to go on.
Have an S or whatever, and the branding. So what I love and I'm super excited about with FINMORE.
And I wanted to say, it wasn't about they just had this card because they never released the card. They had a number of promises, especially with their Z Club store. You'd swipe this card, you would earn Z bucks that you could then redeem in the Z store. They were also going to revolutionize the banking industry. They made a lot of promises. It wasn't just about rebranding and then one card. So that's inaccurate information. And maybe you've been given that. Maybe you've not done the research to find out what's going on with the company that you're selling for and trying to actively recruit for. But that is incorrect information. And I encourage you to find out what's really going on and not just parroting what you've been told.
Is that it's a new entry into the financial wellness marketplace, and it's all about more. It's who we are, it's the branding that we're creating, and it's a plethora.
So you're not creating anything. You are a participant in a multi-level marketing pyramid scheme. By using the word we're encouraged to do this. Same when I was in Mon 8, and it's same across all multi-level marketing companies. You're like, we are doing this because it's like you're conveying that you are linked with this company. We're told to do this when we're in multi-level marketing, but by saying it's also deceptive because you don't have any control over it. If TRANZACTCARD was still going on, you would be saying my background in marketing, it shows that TRANZACTCARD is just such brilliant marketing. But because it's changed, you've just used your credentials to then say, oh yes, FINMORE, my background in marketing now shows FINMORE is so amazing.
Marketplace of goods and services that are going to roll out slowly. And so I have a few slides that I want to share with you. So let me get over there real quick. Okay, let me get to screen share.
And I just think of all these people that are just caught in this all the time.
Let's see if I can make this bigger so you guys can see it.
Oh my God, are you using my presentation?
There we go. There's our new logo. I'm super excited about the new logo. It's going to be rolling out really soon. And what it's going to do is I
believe this was posted February the 15th. It says like 2.15.pfl. So I'm thinking that this was posted February the 15th, but I'm not 100% sure.
The increased buying power by linking, the first program is called All Cards. And it's going to be an opportunity for you to link every credit card in your wallet to this mechanism. So
to this company that already allegedly had a security data breach, which I've heard back from one participant that has said that there was already a $1,000 fraudulent charge on their credit card. Fortunately, their bank caught it. So the fallout from this security data breach that I believe happened with TRANZACTCARD, which has never been addressed from TRANZACTCARD, now you're going to just give all of your more information to FINMORE to link all of your credit cards because you're so desperate to accrue some points. Then you can go into a store and then get something for free. You're not getting anything for free. You're paying to be a part of this, which they're giving you credits, which is you are now deceived into believing you're getting something for free, but you're paying for these credits. You're not earning them back. So yeah.
So you can earn rewards like from your Wells Fargo card or your Costco card or your Amex. So what does this mean? So imagine this is what I'm doing. I'm not even imagining. I'm like ready to make it happen. I'm taking my Costco card. I'm going to go to Costco and, the bill's at least $200 to $400 every time I go. And so now I'm going to get my Costco rewards and FINMORE credits. And so you can see how this is going to help us increase.
But you're not, so if you're paying for a Costco membership, now you're also paying additionally for this FINMORE membership. So it depends on how much money. You're not making that much in fin credits. Like, I mean, you need to really sit down and think about this. So, and I don't know if she's actually done this yet, because she says I'm going to. So this is another red flag for me.
Increase our buying power. So
I mean, out of the multiple red flags already, the Ark of the Covenant, the Holy Grail, this is just yet another red flag, you know, where it's like, I'm going to do this. Yeah, but have you done it? Have you even received it? What items are in this store? It's all like the hype, the belief, much like the faith-based stuff, these faith-based cults. You just have to believe. And you feel so good when you do believe, because then you feel like you have a purpose.
for a small monthly fee, I believe for all of those that have already signed on to FINMORE, which means that we've been here before January 31st, for a small monthly fee of.
Yeah, actually you have. You were there before January 31st, which is, I think you're referring to the TRANZACTCARD people, that they signed up in TRANZACTCARD before this change happened on February the 1st. And then they're just, you know, they're considered legacy members, or they're giving them some token appreciation. Well, you're going to be a founder. Don't worry, we're going to take care of you, which really everybody's getting screwed over. But they had this planned January the 24th. They had this Flourish Direct LLC. And then I think it was 3 days later, January 27th, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments here, there was that event that they had. TRANZACTCARD had an event that everybody had to pay for, like $250 for a ticket. Somebody had left a comment, and people were buying like branded gear, like swag, you know. And then 4 days later, or no, 5 days later, it's like, surprise, we're not TRANZACTCARD anymore. They knew that they were changing over to FINMORE. They deceived people and they lied to their own participants.
$2.49. That's right. You will have the ability to link all the cards in your wallet for that buying power. So I know
that's incorrect. It's not just $2.49. You need to sign up for this thing and pay for a membership. And I think it was like, the details of this, I don't know, they had to pay $50 for a year, then plus $4.95 a month or something like that. Or if you were already in, then it's only $2.49, but you're already in, you're already paying. So it's not like people watching this, oh, I only have to pay $2.49. It's important for me to nitpick, because this is like pinning down each one of these little red flags, each one of these levels of manipulation. This is how this works in these high control groups, high demand groups. I don't even know what the term I'm supposed to use, so I'm going to use all of them. Just like network marketers use social selling, social sharing. We're just like insurance. Primerica. It's like, we're just like insurance. It's like, really, is every insurance agency a member of the Direct Sellers Association just like you? Because you're just like insurance. You're just like every other insurance. We're just like Amazon. We're just like Google. Oh, are they also members of the Direct Sellers Association? Tell me, why is it that only multi-level marketing pyramid schemes, commercial cults are members of the Direct Sellers Association and no other legitimate businesses? No other, you want to know what a legitimate business is? Any business that's not in the Direct Sellers Association. Easy, right there.
I know that many of you, including myself, Master Lama Rasaji and the Lamasery account, have accumulated thousands of credits already just because of the system that was
in the Lamasery account. I had to find out what a Lamasery was. Let's wait. What is a Lamasery?
Here's the definition.
What is a Lamasery?
Lama is a 28.
What is a Lamasery? Fuck.
What's the definition of
Commissary, llama. Like, this is useless. What is a Lamasery? Llama. This is like AI is going to take over everything. AI is going to take over nothing. They don't know how to identify traffic lights, and they can't even say what is a Lamasery. Monastery of llamas or llamas. Monastery, not the llama like an alpaca. A monastery of llamas. There's a Lamasery account. What is going on? This is just TRANZACTCARD. There's this whole other world just like right there that is supporting this particular cult of TRANZACTCARD.
Was set up prior. And so I know you're ready to shop, right? I mean, who's not ready to shop? So I'm going to show you a sampling of what's going to be rolling out in the near future. Look at this, guys. These
This is supposed to be exciting. Look at this. This is not exciting at all. So look at this. Automotive accessories. Categories you'll find in the FINMORE store, but they're not in there yet. Much like Richard Smith said, this is going to happen for RevCard. There's going to be all these things that happen. What happened with RevCard? The fish dies, belly up, rolls up, floats on the surface. Taken out, discarded, it gets resurrected in the lamasery, and it's like TRANZACTCARD. What happened with TRANZACTCARD's store, the Z Club store? Fish, dead, floats up, belly up, throw it out, back again. Here we go into FINMORE. And fish do have fins, so there, that really awkward, weird metaphor analogy I use works. Electronics, fashion, jewelry. None of this has come to be. This is what's coming. And they're going to say, because I did watch this portion of it, that this is a part of a startup. This is not a startup. A pyramid scheme is not a startup. A multi-level marketing company that is trying to hide, allegedly, that they had a data security breach that will not inform its participants that their data, their security, or their social security numbers, their credit card numbers may have been sold on the dark web, that's occurred. And then they're saying that these things are going to happen in the store. You're just taking this on trust. This isn't a startup. A startup, you have some things. There may be constant evolutions. You're hiring people, you're firing people, but you have a product. You have no product. You have empty promises. And you're being fooled. You're all being conned. And it's sad to see. So let's watch this again.
are the different categories that will be introduced very, very soon.
Will be introduced very, very soon. More red flags. Look at the track record of RevCard and TRANZACTCARD, and you're going to say that FINMORE is going to be different. It's not. It's not. Diarrhea. Some people think it's funny, but it's really hot and runny. Oh, great. I fucked up. Okay, so I messed up. I was clicking again. I click too much. But here we're back.
I'm super excited about Kimbro. This lady has over 30 years experience in procurement, and she's a rock star. She is a rock star. She has been down with COVID over the last week, so things have been rolling a little slower than anticipated.
So you're just telling people, random people's names. You're telling your participants in this religious cult, and then also with the TRANZACTCARD cult, saying there's this person, she's been down, she's an absolute rock star, she's been at this for 30 years. But when you're in a high control group, you believe this is like, okay, that's amazing. You don't even know who these people are. You don't even know if it's real. You just listen to what someone says and like, oh, that's all the credibility I need. That means that this is legitimate. You're like, I know a guy who said he's been at this for 30 years and they're really good at procurement.
But I want you to check out this. Here's a sampling of the product.
This is sad. Look at this. They're selling, this is the same thing that happened with TRANZACTCARD. Like, this is what you've got. They're showing toilet paper, detergent, and diapers. They did this exact same thing. Like, come on, look at this. You have to cash in 14 fin credits, and then you have to pay $12. Like, you're not even getting this stuff for free. You still have to pay. You're paying for the card. You're paying for the illusion of receiving free credits. And then you're paying, shipping and handling to get these items, to go to sacrifice, your the safety of your credit card information online, maybe your personal information too, because that has already happened with TRANZACTCARD, allegedly. So you're offering, so this isn't a deal. Look at this, $62 and then 29 fin credits and $33 plus shipping. Look at this, limit per customer. This is just sad. Oh my goodness.
I looked on Amazon this morning at the toilet paper real quick, and that 24 pack was selling for $27.59. So now we'll be able to use our fin credits, and we would just pay with our debit card, $12 plus a little bit of shipping on that. So
Plus a little bit of shipping. I was clicking again. I just paused it and recorded. So then she said a little bit of shipping, and then it was like she said flash sales. So I got to stop clicking. Angry clicker.
sales are coming back with bigger inventories, and you can save up to 80%.
They're coming back with bigger inventories. Was it TRANZACTCARD had a hell of a run, way better than FINMORE has. TRANZACTCARD was able to get away with stuff. FINMORE has already burned so many participants. There are people within other multi-level marketing companies that are calling out that TRANZACTCARD and FINMORE is a scam. They can see that it's a scam, even though they can't see that they're in a scam themselves. They're also in a pyramid scheme. That's how apparent this is. So FINMORE isn't starting this new leaf just by changing their colors and wearing orange. And you're using the exact same things. You're starting off with detergent and diapers and toilet paper. And now you're going to have flash sales just like the Z Club. When everybody was in the various Facebook groups and they would drop these curiosity posts like riddles, riddle me this, what rhymes with Zellers and is the Lone Star State? There was weird posts like that. You should see the screenshots I have of somebody else who was in one of these groups that had sent me hundreds of screenshots of people getting so excited about these flash sales that were in TRANZACTCARD, the Z Club store. And now this doesn't even exist yet. There's only like 3 items that you've shown, which are sad. You have to pay like 14, you have to cash in 14 fin credits and then pay $12. And now, but there's going to be more, even more. Where is it? Saying that it's going to happen isn't good enough. This isn't a startup. This is a pyramid scheme.
On the flash sales. FINMORE travel. I don't know if you guys looked at the old system.
Wow, another travel MLM. Let's put like travel in here. Like, look at this. Remember, a lot of these people were from World Ventures. A lot of people in World Ventures have moved from like World Ventures to whether it was like Secret and then whatever company, and now they've like moved into FINMORE. And then you see like World Ventures into this Lavardi. World Ventures is like another Amway. Like it's just a lot of these people like move from World Ventures. I remember who was I watching? I think I was just watching Always Marco. He just had a debate. It was like a discussion with a gentleman from iBoomerang. And I think that's a travel. There's like a travel thing in there too. But he mentioned during that interview, not Marco, but this gentleman he was just having this discussion with, he mentioned Johnny Wimbre. I'm like, not Johnny. Johnny, I did a video on him. He was from World Ventures. He's that guy that had a bat and he's like dressed up in baseball and he's like stomping around, like acting all aggressive, saying that he just waits for people to turn 18 and then he goes after them. And he's like, swing the fucking bat. Like that's what he does drop the F-bomb. I drop it all the time, but he's like, swing the fucking bat. Like it's this powerful presentation, right? I'm like, not Johnny. There's a gold mine of World Ventures shit going on. Also, that Mark Aceta, he was also involved in World Ventures. He's the guy, you might have seen one of the videos I did where he dressed up as a number of characters. He pretends that he's a judo champion, a lumberjack from, I think, like French Canada. Jim Carrey, he likes to squeeze women's boobs. He's like parading around on stage and he runs down in the audience and sits on a random woman's lap and he has a little plastic squirty gun. All these characters from World Ventures. And that was a travel company. Stuff is just so weird.
In short, I'll just say it was embarrassing to see what they were offering. We're a startup.
Throwing the shade at TRANZACTCARD. Well, you know what else is embarrassing is FINMORE. This is just so sad though.
We're just getting going, but you know,
You're not in a startup, you're in a pyramid scheme. This isn't a startup and you're not a part of it. You're not a business owner.
To present myself as totally professional, and they just weren't there yet on the travel. Well, I am super excited because they are ramping up to add lots.
So you're saying it, and everybody's taking their cue from the speaker. So saying it's like, I am so professional, it just wasn't there yet. Well, you know what else isn't there yet? FINMORE store. It isn't even there yet. There's nothing in there. And yet you're willing to stake your reputation. That's the word I was trying to think of earlier. On this by saying this one, it really is professional, although there's absolutely nothing in it, or very little, not as much as there was in TRANZACTCARD. This is going to be so much better. Why? Because you've attended multiple Zoom calls or Vimeo videos, training saying that this is going to be good, and then you just believe it because you need to believe it because you're in a cult, a multi-level marketing cult, among whatever else this other thing is in that you're participating in.
Lots more travel options. I even heard one of the executives talking last week about partnering with companies like Airbnb. So we're going to have tons.
Did you also hear them talking about partnering with LeBron James, Obama, and Trump? Because that didn't end well either when that was with TRANZACTCARD.
Of options coming in that. And last but not least, I want to introduce you to Flourish. So if you know people that have lost their jobs recently, maybe they don't have medical insurance, they're paying out the wazoo for.
They're a perfect target because we like, in commercial cults, we like to target the most vulnerable. Go after them for sure. This is going to serve them. We're helping people, not preying on them.
Their prescriptions. You're going to want to introduce them to this Flourish program. Now, this is another program.
And have you used it? And has it been very effective? Can you endorse it and stake your reputation on this, even though you've never used it? You're just told that this is what's going to be delivered and you haven't tried any of it. How many have you used the dental portion, the pharmacy portion, the telemedicine? How did it go? What was the process for you to book an appointment? And then how did it go with the doctor? You're just selling something that you don't even know if it exists or if it works, and you're staking your reputation on it, and you're encouraging other people to people are putting money into this just like they do in every multi-level marketing pyramid scheme scam.
That will have a monthly membership. In this Flourish program, you're going to have access to their academy. They have one of the top soft skills training companies
According
that
to
they
who?
have partnered with.
According to who? And what is it? And why won't you name it? And let's see the people, the testimonials from the people, and let's see the negative reviews too. Because if you come across a company or something that has no negative reviews, that's also another red flag. So this is just like all trust me. This is going to be incredible. The flash sales are going to be incredible. TRANZACTCARD, the previous version, it just wasn't professional. And I like to show up professionally. Does this exist yet? No, but don't worry, it will. This is going to be incredible. Isn't this sad? So many people are manipulated like this. And the drain on our economy, wherever you are in the world, whatever country you are in the world, it's shocking. The drain of money, our time in these scams.
In this academy. So we can come and get certified in all kinds of things. So I'm just super excited to see what that's going to be about. I don't know all the details, but I do know for small business owners, they're going to have a ton of opportunities. So if you're a FMO, FINMORE office, right? We're a FINMORE office, FMO, what used to be DBO.
Don't even know the name of it. But it doesn't matter because you're in a pyramid scheme. The nomenclature is really irrelevant. You're not a business owner. It's just pretending to be a business. You're a multi-level marketing participant. You're not a distributor. You're not a representative. You're a participant and you're being conned. And most of the money is being generated from these participants, not retail customers.
The business opportunity, we're going to be able to come here and with this small monthly fee, get tons of training. Now, Connie is still going to be starting out doing her twice a week Q&A, which is absolutely.
Tons of training is really compelling when you're in a multi-level marketing like company. You think that you always need to be working on yourself. It's so weird how these things keep like popping out, even like after I've been out for 2 years now. Ugh.
Absolutely phenomenal if you haven't joined on. So that'll be coming back as well once the marketing assets start rolling back. And then a decision maker that's a financial tracking software. And this is an AI generated thing that can.
It's so weird to me that there's this fascination with AI, like AI and crypto. That seems to be the two different things. It's like you say crypto and people think this is the magic, like this is the Willy Wonka. They've opened up the chocolate bar and it's like the gold ticket inside. They just think that that in itself is like a thought terminating cliche. It's like crypto, like sign me up. And they say like AI is going to help you. Like, what are you talking about? Do you even know what it does? Have you tried using like Chat GPT or whatever? How do you think, like, just saying AI is going to, AI is going, AEIOU?
Point you in the direction of where you need to go with finances. And so it's going to look at exactly where you are and give you suggestions, and then you can.
How is it going to do that? Are you going to input all your financial information? Because all these people are financially illiterate. Are they going to add up all their bills? Their hydro, electricity, gas, property tax, mortgage or rent payment, fuel. Are they going to input all that into this? And then the AI is going to tell them, point you in the right direction of what the AI will say, get the hell out of this multi-level marketing pyramid scheme. Put the money that you would into this FINMORE and put it in a savings account instead, and watch your money grow, and watch your self-esteem and confidence flourish when you leave a commercial cult.
Decide, which path you want to take. But imagine having AI helping educate you on different financial opportunities.
See, isn't this weird? There's this weird, like, AI is enshrined as this golden ticket. Imagine having AI guide you. Like, do people really think like, oh, AI, oh, I can't wait. Oh, thank goodness AI is going to be here to like help me figure out my finances. Like, AI? What?
So I know all of you guys have been incredibly patient in this startup. We all have. And like startups, they have hiccups, right? We've had to pivot.
You haven't had to pivot, and you need to stop using the word we, but this is very deceptive and very manipulative. So just hang on. Just like we were in TRANZACTCARD, we will continue to make a number of promises and not deliver. And like you've seen with that Randy Schroeder character, who has been in Monavie, Canaway, TRANZACTCARD, FINMORE, making these, we got to release the negative baggage. It doesn't matter that TRANZACTCARD allegedly had a security data breach and your information was sold. Maybe you have experienced fraudulent charges on your credit card. That's your fault. This is a startup. There's going to be hiccups. We have to pivot. This is scam. This is just red flag all over it. I'm going to speed her up to 1.25.
20% of companies fail in the first 12 months. Okay, that's a fact. We have added 120,000 people to FINMORE in less than 10 months. So I can hardly.
That's a lie, because FINMORE has only been around, officially announced, since February the 1st. So you haven't added 120,000 people to FINMORE. You added you didn't even add them. 120,000 poor people, like, I'm not as like poor, some actually are, poor, but I'm thinking people that were conned into TRANZACTCARD. Oh, another red flag and an outright lie.
Call that a failure. Where they've been slow is rolling out products. And,
and their flagship product, which was a debit card, which never came to be, which FINMORE is also most likely never going to come to be.
We have 120,000 people that are anxiously awaiting this incredible ecosystem. And so
how many of those people have been booted out of, have lost? They've just been kicked out of TRANZACTCARD / FINMORE because they began asking questions. How many people started new Facebook groups? Because all they're doing is asking questions, legitimate questions. They're not even being snarky, which it doesn't matter. You shouldn't have to be moderating your tone in order, you can be happy, you can be grumpy. It doesn't matter. They're very screenshots I've seen. People have been very respectful, asking questions. It's like, where is my money? I can't get through to customer service. And they've been met with these people that maybe they're a part of this thing too, being lectured, religious lectures. I've donated hundreds of backpacks to the homeless. Therefore, FINMORE isn't a pyramid scheme. Shame on you for even asking questions. Like, what? What are you talking about? Oh, that's what happens in a commercial cult.
We're experiencing is just that, hiccups, and we're pivoting. And so it's nothing new to startups. Certainly.
It's nothing new to pyramid schemes. This doesn't happen. This isn't a startup. And if you keep saying it over and over and over again, it doesn't make it true. My nose is itchy. It means I'm going to be kissed.
Nothing new to all of us here at COC, right? We're having our own website hiccups right now. We've had to pivot a few times, and that's what small companies do. And so we appreciate your patience. And now that FINMORE opportunities are in the forefront and they're clearly on top of them, and that takes time, you know, to recognize challenges and to, you know,
The amount of apology that participants have to do on behalf of this pyramid scheme is appalling.
put things in place to overcome. But the team that they have in place now is unbelievable. The marketing presentation is starting to roll out, just like I'm sharing some information with you guys today. And we should start to see our new website
Melon's presentation
and the store open within the next few weeks. So if you need paper towel, diapers, laundry soap, hold up on your purchases, especially if you have accumulated those FINMORE credits, right? So
If you need toilet paper, just hold off. So then you can use your Fin credits to buy it instead. How messed up is that? See, if you're watching this, you know, like entertainment wise, you know, you're like, oh, I'm kind of I'm interested in anti-MLM content, or there's you're like, I'm just learning about this. It's like, wait, what is this introduction of the word cult into with multi-level marketing? I know more and more people are starting to understand that these are commercial cults, but you could be just like, wait a second, like they're saying that to hold off buying toilet paper. It's like, they don't mean that. They do mean that. All these little things, when you're in like a high control group, you'll explain away, much like you might be explaining away some of these things too, thinking, oh, they don't really mean that. And they do mean that. And people will hold off because they will do as they're told, which is not directly. It's like, you might want to hold off. That is the same as an order when you're in one of these groups. It doesn't happen overnight. Once you're in, this is how like a lot of the control happens. So can you imagine? You're like, no, I really need more detergent and toilet paper and paper towel, but I'm going to hold off. Why? Why do they need to control even your spending on the most basic necessities of toilet paper? You know, you're always going to need more toilet paper. So go out and buy your toilet paper. And then when you have enough Fin credits, or when they ever decide to get their act together and they have it in the store, then you can also purchase more toilet paper, because those Fin credits aren't going anywhere, at least not now, until FINMORE. Also, the fish, belly up, throw away. What will it become next? And around it goes.
one of the other things that I want to leave you with is I've been talking to one of my friends that I've known her for more than 10 years. Yeah, actually this year was 10 years. She's not only an FMO, the business owner, right? Is
it your girl Sally? That's what we were taught in rank makers. This is one of the excuses, like, or one of the names. Just shout out to my girl Sally. So I often say that when I'm commenting on different multi-level marketing, you know, videos. So it's like, I have a friend. Again, bringing out somebody who may or may not exist as proof that this is legitimate. Never mind the facts and actual facts. Just like, I have a friend and I spoke with her and she says it's really good. Therefore, you know, you should all follow me and we'll all jump off this cliff to our deaths, and everybody will. You're like, all right, let's go. Whee! All because my friend said that this is legitimate. Who's the friend? Nobody knows who they are. They just trust this person speaking because she is up in the hierarchy of this other high control group. This is weird.
She's also a W-2 employee with FINMORE, okay? And I just learned this in the last couple of months, that she's actually on their payroll, and she's a professional.
How handy is that? She has a stinking job and she is an FBO. Well, this isn't. That's going to be a completely different experience than people that are just forking over $199 to enroll as a business owner, which they're not even a business owner, to somebody who is employed by the company. What a weird example to choose.
Business consultant. She has a very strong legal background, and she assures me this is moving because I like
a very strong legal background. Was she arrested and put in jail? Who knows what it means? Was she a lawyer? Did she like graduate from Harvard and is like this high profile, has taken down all these criminals? A very strong legal background. Did she watch Legally Blonde 45 times? What does it mean? Strong legal background. These are the kinds of things that you need to pick up on, like as you're starting to wake up, you know, or if you're starting to yeah, you're starting to like put a critical eye to everything that's being told to you, because this stuff, it's just all based on deception. A strong legal background. They could just say, my friend has been a lawyer or a criminal defense lawyer for 25 years. But no, they gotta say, they have to make it sound better than what it actually is. And who knows if it's even real. I don't believe anything these people say, because I remember what it was like when I was in multi-level marketing. We would tell lies and we would believe that we were telling the truth. That's what's really messed up about this. People say, how do they do this? How do they go to sleep at night? Because we don't see that we're telling a lie. That's how brainwashed we are. And that's one of the things that's so difficult for many. Not everybody has the same experience, but those of us that get right into it. And it could be a matter of years, or it could be a matter of months. It just, all our experiences, they're different, but we're all participating in these cults. And yeah,
all of you called her up and said, hey, now that I know you are part of this, I need to ask some hard questions. And so we had really great conversation. She said that the leadership team is Christian based, and they pray regularly, and that's important.
Wow. Because there's never been an unethical, illegal organization that's participated in any kind of criminal activities when it's Christian based, and when they say they're Christian based, and when they say they pray regularly. You can't make this shit up.
Important to me, but it was also important to her. So much so, her comment to me was, Lynette, if I didn't believe that this wasn't going to work, I would have walked away. My other business is profitable. I don't need this. I'm doing this because I believe in it. And clearly she would have.
She's doing it because she's been recruited into a cult. If her business is so successful, why is she not only in this, paid to be an FBO, but now also an employee with the company? I believe in it so much. Don't ask any questions. Believe me. Believe me. If I would never get sucked into a cult. Believe me, I'm so successful. I have this extensive legal background. I have a successful business. Believe me, I would have walked away. And they're like, all right, like you press the button, your critical thinking goes right out. Goes like you're going like 120 kilometers down the highway, freaking roll down your window. It goes shooting out the window. It's like, boom, bounces out. And you're like, okay, that's good enough for me. I don't need to critically think. I don't need to ask tough questions, because she asked her friend, who we don't know who the friend is, who's employed by FINMORE. Was it after it changed from TRANZACTCARD? We don't know, but it doesn't matter, because all it is good enough for us to know that her friend that she apparently talked to said, believe me. If I didn't believe in it, I would have walked away. Well, sign me up. I can just tell that story to thousands of people, and they're all going to sign up as FBOs.
Walked away.
Do you see how ridiculous that is?
If she didn't believe in it. So that's what I'm here to just share with you guys. She's confident that things are moving in the right direction based on my conversation with her and everything I've seen rolling.
How many people were as confident with TRANZACTCARD? And then just like you're like, oh, well, no, it wasn't as professional. What are you going to say when this one also tanks?
Out over the next 4 weeks. I'm super excited about what's to come. So in the meantime, I just want you guys to watch your emails. If you're a business owner, I want you to.
I'm excited about what's to come too in the coming weeks.
Pay attention to the Circle of Chi FMO business community, right? That's where Connie's posting her free trainings for everyone.
So this is the other group. Now, this is like, I haven't looked into this, and I don't know if I'm going to have the stomach to, because this is just it. This is like dark shit. It's always dark. It always takes that sharp turn and just like goes right down into the basement, into the bowels of the earth. It's like, oh, now we've got the Circle of Chi TRANZACTCARD FINMORE group. So they're using this religious thing about the Ark of the Covenant and the Holy Grail, because remember, we're getting there. That we haven't even gotten to that part yet. And that now is like with FINMORE. Can you imagine if this was going on with Mon 8? I mean, it could be, but it's just happening to go on with TRANZACTCARD. TRANZACTCARD and FINMORE is fucking weird. Like it's a lot like Amway. I mean, all these multi-level marketing companies are like Amway, but I think that's why so many people, I know people watching this have been like, I'm drawn to this. Like, this is so messed up. You've probably seen a lot of comments from people still involved in these various scams. I had left some stand up still on old TRANZACTCARD content. and maybe you've caught them before I've deleted other ones, but the comments are weird. And you look at the screenshots of the conversations that go on in these Facebook groups. It's not like other multi-level marketing companies. All of them are bad. All of them are commercial cults. I don't want to be like grading abuse. Well, this one just isn't as abusive as this one. It's not that. It's just a different flavor of stink. And TRANZACTCARD has a unique, FINMORE has a unique stench that is creepy as fuck. And especially with this weird religious tie-in, like, ugh. And this is just one part of it. Like, this is one team or one group that is like funneled into this. And this isn't unique. Ugh.
Open Q&As and all of that stuff as well. Connie's going to be starting those in the next couple of weeks once we have the marketing assets. So it'll be important for you to be there to join her so you can be up on what's going. So you can have conversations with the people that you know, how to go out and network in your local community and bring people into this marketplace of wellness.
How to recruit people into our cult, how to go out into the community and network. They're talking about actively recruiting people into a commercial cult.
Goods and services.
I deciphered it for you. I translated it for you.
In the financial arena. If you're a card holder, feel free to connect with the FMO community on Facebook for updates and watch your email. So we are super excited about the future of FINMORE, and we're going to go over now to Master Lama.
But don't ask too many questions. In fact, don't ask any questions at all that could even be perceived as critical or negative, because you'll be deleted and removed from the group.
Saji, who's going to share with us about King Solomon's treasures and the children of light.
Oh, fuck, here we go. Now, look at that segue. Can you believe that? All right, now that we've done our just introduction, a little bit of update from TRANZACTCARD to FINMORE, we're not going to be talking about TRANZACTCARD anymore. We heard from my girl, Sally, who has an extensive legal background and endorses FINMORE. She's also has an employee of FINMORE, if you can believe it. And she has a successful business. And she said, believe me. She said, Julie, believe me. If I thought this had some red flags, I wouldn't have signed up. I would have just walked away. And now we're going to turn on to like King Solomon and the children of light. You can't make this shit up.
Back to you.
Good deal. Good job. Good job. Well, there you go, guys. You get the skinny about everything going on. So we just have to be patient sometimes.
This, I believe, is the leader of the group. And this is at 1.25 speed. And this is going to go for another about 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes. Because I can't handle it. I saw about just up to over 18 minutes. And I'm like, that's enough for me.
And so I'm excited to share with you some information. So basically, I'm going to be looking at notes to make sure that I cover everything today. So King Solomon's tomb fell during the Babylonian War between where the Israelites were at around him then. And some of the treasures were actually carried into 4D by angels Shamshi, Archangel Michael, and Gabriel were a part of that transition during that time. Then a lot of his gold, a lot of the gold was taking to India. And so in India, you'll find this very interesting, that in India, where Jasper, who was one of the Magi, took some of that gold and delivered it at the birth of Jesus. So I want you to get a little bit of chills when you think about that. Solomon's gold ended up in India, and then Jasper, one of the 3 Magis, as you know, they were all part of the order of Tai Chi Gum, the Lamasery, and some of King Solomon's gold was hand delivered at the birth of Christ. So digest that one for a little while, right? That's real powerful when you think about that. The Ark of the Covenant is said by many to be in different places. So the Ark of the Covenant is in the places, some people say North Africa, some people say still buried in places in Israel, close to where King David was buried. And the interesting thing, a lot of times people guesstimate King Solomon's wealth if it was alive today And that would actually be somewhere between $2 and $3 trillion. That seems like a big deal, and it is a big deal when you think about what kind of wealth that he had actually occurred. But I'll give you an idea. We now have 3 stocks on Wall Street that are actually worth between $2 and $4 trillion. One stock alone this year gained $1 trillion in 1 year. So from the beginning of 23 last year, when everybody was scared about getting in the market, think about this: one company gained $1 trillion in wealth in 12 to 14 months. So think about that one. That's really powerful. One of the next things I'm going to tell you that you're the only people outside of the lamasery to know what I'm getting ready to tell you today. So I want you to get your pens and papers ready and make sure you go back to this recording. So after and I'll look back to my notes if I need to see them. After the resurrection of Jesus, he was appearing to different people from time to time. To me, he was appearing to Nicodemus, Joseph of Arimathea. If you remember, the story is Joseph of Arimathea had confiscated the Grail chalice from the Last Supper and had filled up as much of the blood when Jesus is dying on the cross, pours the blood back into Jesus's body in the tomb because of the magnetic quality. Just imagine what the magnetic quality of Jesus's blood was. In one of the appearances that Jesus makes to Joseph during the 40 days before the ascension, Joseph returns the Grail chalice to Jesus. Jesus in meditation is Archangel Gabriel appears to Jesus in meditation during the time. He's about 10 days after the resurrection. And Jesus in his light body and Archangel Michael, get ready, you're going to be jumping up and down when I tell you this, decide that the safest place for the Holy Grail is in the lamasery in Darjeeling, Tibet. So our lamasery has the Grail chalice. I thought you might want to know that one. That's real powerful. Nobody knows that. So the lamasery has the Grail chalice. And
that's all I can handle. That's all I can see. This is just enough. And you can see there's no need to even provide commentary on this. Just to sit down and just listen to this guy go on. The magnetic blood. What is the magnet? The magnetism of Jesus's blood. Maybe we should ask a Kang and an Ajik Hun. 4D. There's like so much in there. That was only 18 and a half minutes. This video keeps going on. And this is my first kind of look really at this particular group. And the only way I came across it was because of somebody who sent me this. Thank you very much. And because it's affiliated, it's like linked up with TRANZACTCARD FINMORE, if you can believe it. So I know, a lot of different kinds of people come across anti-MLM content and my content too. So I want to say thank you so much to everybody who is so supportive and encouraging, leaving comments, adding to, like, expanding our knowledge about this kind of thing. Like I'll miss something that somebody will point something out and I'll be like, damn it, I wish I had a thought of that. For example, Auntie Scamantha had said, left a comment on the truthandadvertising.org video I made and mentioned something about lots and lots of unpaid labor. And I wish I had a thought of that. So just thank you so much to everybody leaving comments. And also thank you for people who have been so supportive of me when I first started making videos here on YouTube. When I made the crossover from TikTok, I decided to come over here. And also a big thank you to anybody in multi-level marketing that is having the courage to watch anti-MLM content. I know that you really believe in what you are doing, and maybe, I don't know where you're at in the process of figuring out what you've been a part of and how you were complicit in recruiting other people and having maybe really weird beliefs. there can be this real shame and humiliation, this feeling of like, how could I have been suckered in like this? This is so obvious. But so many of us have had these experiences too. Maybe not your exact experience, but we believed in something and we were fooled and we brought others into it. And facing that is quite empowering. It's something that I still struggle with, is how like I was deceived so effectively that I betrayed myself. And that's what I'm really mad at. Like I'm angry at these people that are knowingly hurting other people, abusing them, exploiting them, defrauding them. It's my trio. I like to recite that, but it's true. But I'm more mad at myself of how I could have been sucked in. You know, how did I not see that I was doing this? How did I not see the abuse? How did I see the abuse as really good coaching? How did I emulate that behavior and then like teach it to my team and lord about like I was better than other people? How did I not see what I was doing, you know? And that's something that I still think about. And I think about it because I know what's coming for people who are leaving these high control groups. And I know that there's growing awareness about that, but there's still a lack of acknowledgement that the power of these destructive cults, which are multi-level marketing companies, people can just dismiss it. Well, it wasn't really that big a deal. You're just not selling it anymore. And for some people, it isn't a big deal. But for many others, it really is a big deal. And you're like dealing with it for years afterwards. There's, you know, if you go on anti-MLM Reddit, there are a lot of people that will share their experiences. They've been in Amway for 13 years. And they're like, I can't believe I was part of this. They were in Primerica, they were in WFG, they were in Mon8, Arbonne, whatever. I always say Mon8, Arbonne. I was in Mon8. One of my coaches, very good friend of mine, Jennifer Ryla, she was in Arbonne. So I say that all the time. So it's this multi-pronged approach here that I like to do when I make anti-MLM content. I use examples and phrases and like even like a snotty tone because it's similar to, well, I mean, I can be like, I'm sarcastic anyway, but I purposefully use that because then I know people in multi-level marketing have to agree with what I'm saying. When I'm giving back to you training and phrases and platitudes that we were taught in the same way, like that condescending way, you cannot disagree with it because that's what we're coached on. That's what we believe in. And I've found that alone can help possibly create cognitive dissonance. When you're looking at an anti-MLM content creator, somebody that you know must be a hater, but yet they're saying things that you cannot disagree with. In fact, you must agree with them because it's the same thing that your whole kind of belief system is founded on by being in multi-level marketing. That can help, I believe, put a crack in your mind. So that's something that I wanted to just talk about too. How I make content and why I do some of the things that I do. Some of the things I do, I don't know why. It might be just divinely inspired. Maybe I got the chalice and the Ark of the Covenant in my bathtub. You never know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.